Hey, how's it going? This is Dietrich Smith with Results Performance Training. Today we're going to talk over youth training mistakes. Parents and coaches don't know what they don't know, just meaning you have to do your research on the certifications that the coaches that you plan to work with have. You can't just copy so-and-so because they played at a high level of sports, or you can't just copy a so-and-so program or follow a program just because it's popular. There's a lot of popular programs out there that are really, really terrible, and just a lot of the information out there is just not good, causing more injuries, causing more harm. Let's just copy another pro athlete's workout. So just because Tom Brady does it or LeBron James does it, probably means it's not going to work for your youth athlete. A lot of these pro athletes, they're genetic freaks. They can do any program and make it work. And you're also looking at something that they've been doing for 30 years. They've been trained for 30 or 40 years, and you're copying what they're doing now. They took the time to build a foundation probably through solid training methods there. And once again, even if they didn't, they would probably still be successful. Performance coaches who don't work with coaches, athletic trainers, physical therapists there, it takes a team to work with youth athletes. Everybody needs to communicate and be in touch with each other. And you need to understand, like, if this athlete's in season, what they're doing in season, off season. If this athlete is working with other coaches, you need to know what they're doing so there's not a lot of overlap and you're causing overtraining. You're not getting the most out of that athlete's time with you when you're working with them. Sports performance coaches, a lot of them do not take the time to really understand what the sports coaches are going through in regards to how much time they actually have. Most of them do not have a lot of time to work with those athletes, and they want to get the most out of their practice time, so you have to make it time efficient so you can get the most out of the time that you have. The beatdown method of training, I call it. This is popular now, even with the general population that just wants to lose a few pounds. We see it with athletes there, we see it with just about everybody. It doesn't always work just to constantly get harder sessions here. You have to be smart with your programming and work with the coach that's going to take the time to plan things out, to kind of assess where they are and take them from A to B to C, not A to Z, so they can go back to A again. There's a lot of programs out there that are causing injury. They're not making your athletes better. They abuse or don't know how to program plyometric and power work. I see this often when it comes to a lot of youth coaches or even sports performance coaches. They are just doing way too many jumps, or they're not taking the time to build a foundation with their plyometric and their power training. A lot of coaches do not know how to work with different personality types, meaning there's a lot of coaches out there, they just scream at everybody. That's just not going to work there. You have to know how to motivate every athlete in the room, take the time to know those athletes, sit down and talk with them, and realize that most of them at this point are not going to respond to that type of motivation. Coaches get way too fancy with their programming. They don't take the time to build a foundation. So we see this, once again, the coaches, the parents, they don't know what they don't know, meaning it looks really cool, it looks fancy. Your sports performance coaches out there doing some little cool drill that their coach is probably already doing with them, with like some weighted implement or something. A lot of the stuff doesn't work. Looks cool, maybe a popular athlete is doing it, it does not work. Take the time to build a foundation. So if you have any questions, send over an email through the link below, text or call 757-589-7028.